Hi, I'm Adrian Taylor from RealVNC, and I'm here to talk about the VNC mobile solution for automotive. The VNC mobile solution is an OEM product we make available to partners and customers who want to embed remote control of phones into their own products and solutions. It's not available as a downloadable shrink-wrap product. We've got partners and customers in different industry segments, but one of the ones over the past few years that's become popular is the automotive industry. The car makers want to embed a VNC viewer into the car dashboard head units so that the drivers and passengers can control their phones from a nice, big, easy-to-use touchscreen. That's what we'll be showing you today. In the future, they might extend that remote control to other PCs and systems back in the home and in the office. We make available a kit to the auto manufacturers who want to do this called the VNC Mobile Solution for Automotive, and that's what we'll be showing you today. So here we have a car dashboard head unit. The head unit is the term that the automotive makers for the dashboard touchscreen systems. It's running our VNC Mobile Solution Viewer SDK. We also have a selection of phones. We're going to be demonstrating this Samsung Nexus S, which is running Android 2.3. But it also works on BlackBerry, S60 and Windows Mobile. If we connect the phone to the car, you'll see that we can see the phone's interface on the car. And anything you can do from the phone, you can also do from the car. You can access applications and do whatever you like. One of the main use cases for this is to access the maps and navigation applications that are on the phones. If we go into Google Maps, you can see we can scroll around, we can zoom in and out, we can get navigation directions, anything at all you can do with the phone in your hand. And you can see that performance is very similar between the phone and the car. So how does this work? We've tried to fit in with the hardware and software standards of the automotive industry as much as we can. On the hardware side, this head unit contains a Freescale IMX51 CPU, that's an ARM CPU, which is very popular in high-end head units. On the software side, our VNC Viewer SDK supports many of the popular automotive software platforms, including QNX, Windows CE, Android and Linux, with more on the way. We're independent of any particular graphical toolkit, so the automaker can continue to structure their user interface using whatever technologies they like, Flash, Qt, OpenGL or anything else. In this case, we've got the Freescale board running Linux with a Qt user interface, and we supply a selection of Qt widgets to make it very easy to integrate into a Qt UI. But the software on the head unit is only half of it. We also supply a VNC Server SDK for the phone, and that supports Android, S60, BlackBerry and Windows Mobile. And the two communicate via any kind of connection. USB is most popular because the car's probably charging the phone via USB anyway, but we also support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. As I've said, we can offer control of Android, S60, Windows Mobile and BlackBerry phones using our VNC Server SDK. For Android, that requires the cooperation of the phone vendor or network operator to sign the package that goes on the phone. But for all the others, it's a simple aftermarket application which can be installed by the driver or the passenger. They can download it from the App Store or from the automaker's website, whatever works for that particular platform. We supply the VNC Server SDK and VNC Viewer SDK as part of the same VNC Mobile Solution product, so we can test them together and make sure there are no interoperability problems. But we also support two other standards. Nokia is promoting a standard called Terminal Mode. Terminal Mode offers the very same remote control capability, but has one major difference. There's no need to install any software on the phone. It's built into it directly. We offer very comprehensive support for Terminal Mode from our VNC Viewer SDK. You can see that the first thing that happens with Terminal Mode, you must select an application to control, but then it's exactly the same remote control experience that you see with any of the other phones. What about the iPhone? For the iPhone, we support an Apple technique called the iPod Out. iPod Out's a little different from the others in that you don't see the very same user interface that the phone projects on its own screen. Instead, Apple have designed a very separate user interface for use in the car, which enables you to access media and music and handle calls. The clever thing about what we do, we make sure this different separate interface is available using exactly the same user interface software in the car. Effectively, we make the iPod Out appear as any other VNC server, so our viewer SDK can control it in exactly the same way. So to summarise, if an automaker builds in our VNC viewer SDK into their head units, they can control Android, S60, Windows Mobile and BlackBerry through our own VNC server SDKs. They can control any future Nokia phones that support terminal mode, and they can control iPhones through Apple's iPod out. Finally, is this safe? Our customers obviously don't want their drivers sending text messages at 120 kilometers an hour. If we plug in this BlackBerry, we get the same full control of it, but we've got a simple driver distraction mechanism implemented. Here, on this virtual car, we've got this virtual speed control, and we can speed up the car and slow it down. If we go into the Maps application, you can see we can speed up the car as much as we want, but we still have full control of the navigation application, because that's something that drivers will want to do at speed and is regarded as safe. But if we switch to the messaging application, because the car is going very fast, it won't let us use it, we can't interact with it. And we have to slow right down in order to be able to send a text message. These driver distraction solutions are fully customizable by our customers and partners. In fact, the whole solution is extremely customizable. On the head unit, the automaker gets a VNC Viewer SDK, software development kit, so they can customize things. And the same on the phone, where they get a VNC Server SDK. These are both part of our VNC Mobile Solution product. The automaker can extend it with additional features that communicate between these two bits of software. For example, to upgrade the maps on the head unit, or to access media files on the phone. In fact, it's only limited by the automaker's imagination. You should start to see RealVNC remote control available in cars towards the end of 2011 or the beginning of 2012. Thank you very much for listening, and please do get in touch with anyone here at RealVNC for more information.